Hello, everybody at home. Happy Friday. And Sammy, Snake, and I are here together at school. It's quiet. Nobody's here but us. But we're going to work together today because we can't be together at school. And so you're seeing me at home, and I'm here with Mr. Voet, and we're filming so you can keep on learning in school because you had to miss today. And that's all right. We'll be back together next week. But here's Sammy Snake's letter S for days of the week like Sunday and Saturday, right? For those letters, we would use the most important capital S, wouldn't we? Because they're names of the days of the week. We don't call all the names just day. Each day has a name, Sunday or Monday. And today is Friday. We keep track of our days with the name of the day. And the capital letters are names. Like you have your name with a capital letter too for your most important name. Like Eliza and Elena and Wesley. Sammy, you miss Wesley. He's taking care of you. He's our letter expert, isn't he? All right, we love Sammy. He's a cool snake. But today we're going to talk about S and our 5. What did God give us to learn about the world? My 5 senses. Look at all the S's in that word, senses. And we know this is the name or the title of the book, isn't it? And the smaller letters tell who wrote the book. The name of the person who wrote this book. You're going to laugh at this. His name is Aliki. Aliki. That's his only name. By Aliki. Is that cool? He writes stories and does the illustrations too. And so we're going to review the 5 senses that God gave us. We use them a lot this year. We've talked about them a lot. Remember when we popped popcorn for P and we could smell it? What else could we do when we made the popcorn? The kids down the hall could smell it and they didn't even see it. We saw it pop. We smelled it. Yes, you're right. We tasted it. That was the best part. We could feel it and we heard it going pop, pop, pop. So we used all 5 senses to learn about that popcorn. Well, let's learn about our 5 senses, a little more review. And then at home, you have a paper about the 5 senses that you're going to work on at home. Sometimes, some things you can use all 5 senses for, like popcorn. Other things you might only see, but you can't hear them. It'll be a fun paper for you to do at home. So it's in your folder for your Friday work. So let's read my 5 senses. He's got his 5 fingers up, doesn't he? Oh, look at him point to his eyes. Yep, for seeing. His ears for hearing. Taste, right, tasting. Oh, he's pointing to his nose, smelling, and then tasting. And fingers for touching, right, things that are hot or cold. By Aliki. There's his name. This is kind of a cool chart. My 5 senses. See all the S's? Oh, Sammy, he likes to see those S's. So this little chart shows things we see. If you look down the chart, charts are kind of fun. We've looked at charts for different things. These are things we see. A sun or a book. Can we taste the sun? No, these are things we see. The moon and the stars, a house. Here's things we can hear. A duck, a drum. Tick, 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 tick. Right, a clock. Oh, that's called a record player, or maybe a CD for music. And that's a really cool tool in the kitchen. It's a beater, and you turn the handle, and it makes a funny whirr sound, so you can hear it. You can see these things also, can't you, with your eyes, and you can hear them. You can hear a duck, you can hear a drum. These are things to taste: toothpaste and ice cream. Yum, lemonade and a crunchy apple. Is that pepper? Makes foods taste good. Salt and pepper. And I bet you can smell toothpaste. Yes, you're right. I heard someone say some of these things you can see, smell, and taste. Smell hot soup, crackers or cookies. You can smell paint, a skunk. Some smells are good and some smells are bad. And a rose is a pretty smell, isn't it? And here's fun things to touch: a feather, a pokey porcupine,
Hedgehog.
or a hedgehog. I was just about to say that. And you can touch a balloon or a ball. Maybe that's a marble, something round. An ice cube, brr, that would be cold. And a soft little kitten. So there's a cool chart using the 5 senses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Here's that cute little boy. Look at his big eyes. I can see. I see with my eyes. I can hear. I hear with my ears. His eyes are closed, but he can hear things. I bet he can hear a car before he even sees it. Maybe he hears his mom calling him. He's listening with his ears and hearing things. I can smell. I smell with my nose. I can taste. I taste with my tongue. Sometimes we taste good things and sometimes we taste bad things. Sometimes things smell good. Sometimes things don't smell very good, like garbage or that skunk. But those are all ways we learn about the world. And it's important to smell those bad smells like smoke from a fire. That protects us and keeps us safe. I can touch. I touch with my fingers. Mrs. Voet has a squeaky voice. Do you hear my voice sounding different? Yes, it's a tired voice tonight. Would you like to touch a rabbit? Yeah. I wonder if you can smell that rabbit. He can see it and he can touch it. Would he taste that rabbit? No. I do all this with my senses. I have 5 senses. When I see the sun or a frog or my baby sister, I use my sense of sight. I am seeing. And she's tasting her little teddy, isn't she? She's got it in her mouth. That's what babies do to learn about the world. They put things in their mouth to taste. And sometimes that's dangerous, isn't it? They don't know better. They might put sand or dirt because they're wondering what it is. And when you taste, it helps you learn about it. When I hear a drum or a fire engine or a bird, I use my sense of hearing. I am hearing. When I smell soap or a pine tree or cookies out of the oven, what are we doing? Right, it says I use my sense of smell. I am smelling. There's the S word. When I drink my milk and eat my food, I use my sense of taste. I am tasting. Oh, you guys love spaghetti, don't you? He's eating spaghetti. and he has a towel for a bib so he doesn't get it messy. Are you ever messy when you eat spaghetti? Sammy says that's an S word. Spaghetti is messy, but it tastes good. When I touch a kitten or a balloon or water, I use my sense of touch, right? I am touching. Sometimes I use all my senses at once. Sometimes I use only one. I often play a game with myself. I guess how many senses I'm using at the same time. When I look at the moon and the stars, I use just one sense. I am seeing. You can't hear the stars. Can he touch the moon? No. And he can't taste it. And he can't smell it. But we see it. Oh, look at that. What are the senses he's using now? He's got a puppy, doesn't he? They're both laughing. When I laugh and play with my puppy, I use 5 senses. I see my puppy, I hear my puppy, I smell him, and I touch him. Which one didn't he use? Right. You don't taste the puppy. Oh, let's see. What else? That boy is having a good day, isn't he? When I bounce a ball, I use 3 senses. I can see and hear it and touch it. I see it and I hear it bounce. Yeah. We like to play with balls on the playground. Sometimes I use more of one sense and less of another. But each sense is very important to me because it makes me learn about the world. Our senses help us learn about the world around us. To learn about the world around us is to see all there is to see. And all there is to hear. And all there is to smell. And taste. All there is to taste. And touch. All there is to touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wherever I go, whatever I do, every minute of the day, my senses are working. They make me aware. They make me learn about the world all around me. Thank you, God, for my 5 senses. Boys and girls, I want you to think about your senses right now. Can you smell something at your house? Close your eyes and smell. What do you smell at home? Maybe something's cooking. Maybe your brother has a dirty diaper. Oh no, that'd be a bad smell, wouldn't it? So, can you hear something at home? Close your eyes and listen. What are you hearing? Awesome. I hear lots of different things that people are hearing. So can you touch something right now? What are you feeling? Is it hard or soft or cold or fuzzy? Is it prickly? We can learn about the world around us. Let's see. Or taste. Maybe you have some treats and snacks in front of you while you're watching this video so you can taste things. So in your paperwork today for homework, you have a little paper about the 5 senses. And if you bring it back, you know that Mrs. Voet will give a gummy bear to see your good work about the 5 senses. All right? So always notice what senses you're using over the weekend and we can talk about it. Senses starts with S. Yes. Now, before we go, I have a quick book. Another quick book. I was going to sing a song about the senses, but I don't have any voice to sing, so we'll learn it when you come back, okay? My voice is leaving me. But I wanted to read an interesting, quick little book about the presidents because Monday is President's Day. In February, we have 2 presidents from long ago, leaders of America who were great, great men, and they had birthdays in February. President Washington was the first president of America, George Washington. And another president was Abraham Lincoln. He was a great man too. He was a man that wanted to, believed everybody should be treated fairly. And what's that called in our pledge when we're treated fairly? Justice. Yep. Abraham Lincoln was very, very, very important man because he helped us learn about justice in our country and treat people fairly, no matter what color their skin, or boys or girls, or rich or poor. We want to be treated fairly. So they were great men. So in February, because of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, we have President's Day, where we remember and say thank you to all our great leaders. And this book helps us teach a little bit about what presidents do. It's called Celebrating President's Day. On Monday, we won't be in school, but we have a day to remember presidents. A president is the leader. We've talked about that. And he's head of the country of America. He's our leader. And our president right now is President Biden. Did you know that name? Joe Biden, President Biden. Let's find out some of the things he does as being the president of America. United States of America. Celebrating President's Day. What is a president? There's the name of the book, the title, and here's who wrote it: Kimberly Giordano and Tricia Kalala Jones. That's quite a name. And their friends Tammy did the pictures. So they worked together. I think that's the first president, George Washington, that someone drew his picture. He was the leader of our country. What is a president? The president is a leader who plans what is best for our country, to make our country strong. Do you remember in the pledge we say, indivisible, indivisible. No one can break us apart. And we always, Mrs. Voet always says, because we have great leaders and great strong army and soldiers and great people who help us and lead us. So no one could break us apart. We're indivisible because of our great leaders like our presidents. He plans what is best for America. You can be a leader too. These kids are at school and this boy's the leader. When you're the leader, you get to hold the flag, don't you? It's fun to be the leader in our classroom. Can you imagine being the leader of all of the United States of America? What is a president? The president is a helper who helps people in need. If we have people that are in trouble in America, often the president will find ways to help. If there was a big storm and a state like if Florida had a big storm and they need help, the president would come and help get his people, and they would help. They would find ways to help. You can be a helper too, can't you? Even on our playground, we need helpers and leaders like the president. What is a president? The president is a problem solver who works with other countries. You can be a problem solver too. Look, they talked it out. They worked out their problem. Sometimes countries have to talk and decide things together, so you have to be somebody who can work with other people. They're happy to solve their problem, aren't they? What is a president? The president is a community builder who helps people live and work together. He's helping these builders and businessmen to help our country be great with great jobs and great people. That's important for the president to do. You can be a community builder too. Look at these kids are doing to help their community. They're planting a tree. There's ways we can help right here in Ionia. Like when we donated food for the food pantry. That was ways we help in our community. Just like the president. What is a president? The president is a teacher who teaches us about what is happening around the world. So he'll come on TV and he'll speak to us and tell us about things that are happening and things that he needs to help with. You can be a teacher too. This little boy is teaching. He looks like he has something for show and tell, and he's teaching all the boys and girls. Even though you're small, you can do things like a president. What is a president? The president is a decision maker. He helps our country make good choices. Oh, he's talking about space and deciding if we should send a spaceship to space. It costs a lot of money, and the president has to help decide if that's a good idea. You can help make important decisions too. These kids are voting. Remember when we had a voting box and we decide? And sometimes we vote in our classroom about things, don't we? And we get in groups and we decide, and who has the most votes? What our classroom will decide on things. We decide together. That's important, to be fair and let everybody decide. What is a president? The president is a lawmaker. He makes laws to keep our country safe. You know that rules are for safety, and the president wants everybody to be safe, and he wants good laws. You can help make laws too. This one says no littering, no throwing garbage. It says pick up trash, be kind. Those are good rules for their school. What is a president? The president is the leader of our country. Someday, you could be the president too. Look at that boy. He's imagining that's the president's house and his office, the White House. So Monday is President's Day, the day we celebrate and say thank you to all the presidents who've been leaders in our country. And today we say thank you to George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, all the many, many presidents, and today's president, Joe Biden, President Biden. So happy President's Day, and we'll talk to you next week when we get back on Wednesday. See you then. Bye, boys and girls. I miss you, and I hope my throat is better then, too.